Hey boys and girls, this is Larry, ubrailroad.com. Check me out. Hey, today's February 6th. Here's one more feature to my oil distribution or oil drilling, whatever you want to call it. But I made this up and I didn't video it as I was building it because I was having so many problems trying to get the geometry squared on this, trying to get the right height, the right speed, everything. So I used a combination. I went on Bing Imaging, Yahoo Imaging, Google Imaging. I went on all the imaging places and I typed in old oil wells and I got all kinds of things. Some of them were made of wood, some of them steel, some were a combination. But I'm going to tell you what I did on this one. And if you guys want to build something like this is fairly simple, but it does take a little time to get your geometry right on it. Okay, this right here, this is the top half of one of those windmills that you'd go in and buy at your farm and country store. You know, they stand about 14 inches high. They sit in your yard. They're $9.95. I just cut the bottom off to lower it down. Then I took some band metal that they wrap, big heavy things with, the real thin band metal. And I just cut two pieces and I welded them right to here. Ground off the galvanizing and welded it. Drilled my hole together so that the walking beam would fit right on in there. Then I put a walking beam in there. And at first I started out with 6 inches, way too small. 9 inches, a little small. Went to this one after I tried a larger one, but I found that this one works the best. So I put this walking beam and then I kind of rounded out something that looks kind of like the weighted head of it. It's a little different than most. Most of them have cable that run over the edge and they follow the groove. This one just pivots right here. Now this is off of a Bachmann 460, and then I just glued this on and this on, and then I made an oil well. The oil well is off of one of these cheap-ass pencil torches. I bought 3 of these. Not one of them worked, so I just drilled that out so that that would all fit, ran it through a piece of masonite, glued it to this surface just to see how this would work. Now what I'll probably do is cut this down here and plant it in the mountain wherever it's going to go. Then over here, this is just a masonite little platform. Now this here, this is 4.5 inches. This right here is one of the braces that went this way. This is just a piece of 1-inch pine. And what I did is I used a motor. My son does a lot of salvaging, and he takes out these little motors that you find in those big screen TVs they used to have, and they're little bitty guys. I mean, that's all the bigger it is. But I'll tell you what, with 12 volts, you could barely stop that with your hand. It has that much torque. So what I did then is, you can see, I just glued it right to the center of it, mounted it on some wood to get the height that I thought I needed, and that's the way it is right now, because I wanted to get some even looking up and down from center line. Like if this is the center, you can see that it comes up pretty good and then it goes down pretty good. And that's what I wanted, so I had to elevate this a little bit. And now I've only got this running on a 1.5 volt D battery. That's sufficient to run this motor. But you can get all kinds of motors, gear them down any way you want to, but this is just one way of doing something like this. Now, of course, this is going to have these lumber strips on them like this, so it'll look like, it's a big wooden wheel. And then this here will be a little heftier. I got 3 of them I'll put together right here. And then I might put a piece of wood on top of this to kind of make it look like an I-beam, one on the top, one on the bottom. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I just wanted to show you what I've come up with so far and what I do plan on using. This will be on my layout, but I wanted you to see it before I went too far with it, and I wanted to explain some of the things I did with it. And then, of course, you got to have your ladder, ladder to nowhere. That's what I call them. So anyway, this is what I've got going. If you like it, leave a like. If you don't like it, tell me why. Let's see if I can figure out something to make it more pleasing to you. But anyway, this is Larry, over and out.